All right. The moment you have been waiting for is here. And so now I have the honor to introduce our guest for today. Oh, I haven't said anything. I haven't said anything yet. So she's a broadcaster and a brand influencer, and then the founder of BU by Berla Foundation. Her profile is in your brochure, and so I will not take too much time to introduce her. I'll just read the first 2 lines maybe. So Berla Mundi is an acclaimed broadcast journalist and media figure, and she has attained significant achievements across Africa, and her groundbreaking hosting of the 2022 Global Citizen Concert in Accra and the 2023 event in Paris raised over $2.4 billion for women's empowerment, climate action, and poverty eradication. And we are very much grateful to her for honoring our invitation today. And so without much ado, welcome Berla Mundi.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. The welcome was a little slow. Why you haven't eaten this morning? Oh, you haven't eaten? Hey, Prof is here. Are you sure you haven't eaten? Be careful what answer you give this morning. But good morning. How are you all doing? I'm excited to be here. And first of all, I need to say thank you so much, Prof. Thank you, everyone, for this opportunity. To Conrad, who won't give up on ensuring that we got here, in one piece and on time. And again, my name is Berla Mundi. I'm excited to be here, and I'm sure you're all excited to start your degree and your course, right? So I'm just going to, I usually like to interact with, students. I like to get a little closer. So pardon me if I come close. I want to get to know some of you. Is that okay? Oh, it's okay. At this point, I'm sure everybody wants to say something. Okay, you let me start off with this very beautiful lady here. Good morning. Do you want everybody to see your beautiful smile? Oh, yeah, shy. Oh, then get up and join me. Let's admire you a bit. Ah, what's your name?
My name is Anita Nabamfu Abampu.
Anita, so what course would you be taking here?
Nursing.
Nursing. So when you finish, will you jackpot or you'll be here?
Of course, 100%.
Hey, wait, did you hear the answer? Will you jackpot or not? You said what?
Of course, 100%.
What's your reason for that?
Okay, so I want to move into being an internist. So for those of you who don't know, an internist is someone, it's mainly for critical conditions, and they take care of people who are older, not children. So, yeah. So
that's why you want to travel out after your course so you can go and practice it there?
And the money too.
And the money, hey! Okay, have a seat. I hope you stay, by the way, because there are older people here who also need the help. And that means that our leaders have to do better. Because if we have the notion that right after school, your aim is to travel out because of the money, Emfa. Please, let's see your nice suit as well. Please stand next to me. Charlie, what will you score him? He's looking really nice, is he not? You, Mia. But when did you iron your suit? Because Doomsaw is worrying us. So some of us.
I did it 12 o'clock. 12 midnight.
12 midnight. You didn't sleep. Why?
Well, I was waiting for you.
Hey! No, but it's good to see you. In fact, because you're waiting for me, let me give you a hug. What's your name and what course are you reading?
Well, I'm Stephen Kwejoku.
Oh, let's stay calm so we can hear. Okay. You are?
I'm Stephen Kwejoku. I'm studying theology in ministry.
Oh, but Pastor dear, you stay in Ghana? Or?
Of course.
So if you are studying theology, give us your favorite Bible verse.
Oh, favorite Bible verse. Okay, John 3:16.
No.
You know, that is a powerful verse.
Okay, so you're going to lead us so we all recite John 3:16. No, I hope you all know John 3:16. Osafo is here, so he's going to lead. Let's go.
So, for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only begotten Son, that he who ever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Amen.
All right. Well, it's good you came to Heritage Christian College because this is the best place to study. Let me go around and see. Should I come to this side? Okay. If you try to hide, that's when I'll come to you. So look at my face. If you decide to look somewhere else, I will come. Sweetheart with your nice duku. Come. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Barbara.
Barbara.
My name is Fafenywa.
What are you reading? What course are you reading?
Nursing.
Hey, another nurse. Tell me, Barbara, that you stay in Ghana.
Yes, I will stay for you.
Hey, wait, you stay for who?
For them. For you.
So let's say that, you know, the UK government says they want some qualified Ghanaian nurses. You say you stay for us?
Yes, I'll stay for you.
You won't go?
I won't go.
God bless you, okay? Stay here and take care of us. Is there anybody doing another course? Any other course that they want to talk about? Hello. Hey, you look beautiful. Please stand. I like this outfit too much. Hello. Down where? My 360. Hello. Hi, Caesar. So who did your makeup for you? It's very beautiful.
She's called Abigail.
Abigail. Tell Abigail that I'm come to look for her. Because she's making you look too good today. What's your name?
I'm called Amanda Azagulo.
Amanda
Azagulo.
What course are you reading?
Human resource.
Human resource. Okay, so tell me, what's your lifelong dream after completing this course? Where do you want to see yourself in the next maybe 5-6 years? Oh, no, Jackpa, she's not going, she's staying.
I'm going.
You are going? Hey! Oh, Amanda, why?
Because I want a better life for myself and my family as well.
You want a better life for yourself and your family, and you don't think that you'll get it here? No. Okay, have a seat. I'm worried though, that a lot of us think that to get a better life, you have to travel. Hi, ma'am, do you agree that you have to travel to get a better life?
No.
You don't agree. What's your reason?
Because I believe that there are better opportunities here. So it depends on your ambition. If you really plan well, you should be able to make it.
I like what she said. If you plan well, you should be able to make it. And that ties into our theme for today, right? That dream it, achieve it. I mean, I understand if some of you want to leave. Sometimes the system is very difficult. But you need to have a plan. And I'll tell you, for example, for me, I didn't think that my TV career would blossom this early. I thought it would take a while. But I still had a plan. As a child, I was already talking to an audience, make-believe audience. So I lived upstairs, and there was a staircase, and I'll go there and present a show. Sometimes I'll hold a cane. So I wasn't sure if it was wanting to be a teacher or wanting to be a TV presenter. But as young as I was, I knew I wanted to make impact. And I wanted to use my voice to make that impact. So what did I do? Even in the selection of my courses in the university, I made sure that it had to do with communication. So I did linguistics, I did English, and then I did psychology because I also wanted to understand human behavior. Because whether you like it or not, at every point in your life, you need to understand why humans behave the way they do. Eventually, after a degree, you can decide if you want to make it a profession or not. But I wanted communication. And then there was an opportunity to go and do Miss Malaika. For a lot of people, I will tell you for a fact that I wanted the car. There was some nice red car that, you know, the winner was going to get. So I was looking forward to that. But there was also a plan. The plan to establish myself and to introduce myself to the company that I'm very good at talking. I needed some tweaking here and there. But if you give me an opportunity, I'll run with it. And so right after Miss Malaika, I was given that opportunity. And I decided to give it a shot. And here I am today. But it's been a lifelong journey of learning along the line, having a plan, and knowing exactly what I want to become in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. So even throughout my journey, and up to when I started TV3, and I'll talk about TV3 because that's when my career took a different turn, where I started doing politics. I had wanted to try that out, but I was probably too afraid to try it out. But when I got that chance, I decided that if you want to succeed in this space, then you need to have a plan. You need to be resilient. And I'm going to talk about 3 things today. So have a plan, stay resilient, and also don't go far from God. So what is the plan that you have as you're starting this course? I'm sure there are some of you who are probably doing this course because maybe your parents think that's what you should read. So you let me do what my parents want. But in between, you also have a dream. There's a dream that's been placed in your heart by God. So what is it that you want to become or achieve in the next 5 years? By now you should know. Even if you are confused, you should realize that there are certain things that, pique your interest, get you excited. Is it music? Is it the word of God? Is it nursing? You'd realize that everything else is exciting, but when it comes to that thing, your attention is there. So if that's what takes your attention, what plan do you have to ensure that it doesn't just become an interest, but eventually I'm able to build a career out of it? So someone says she wants to jackpot because she has a plan. And I like that she said that. So there's a particular course that she wants to take or a profession that she wants to undertake. And that profession maybe has not been fully established here. So she's probably done her research and realized if I travel to this country, I can build on this profession. I can probably, work a couple of years and hopefully come back to Ghana. Or the coming back is not part. You'll come back. You see, but she has a plan. And that's why she's come to Heritage Christian College, because she knows that she can do her nursing degree to a certain extent. Maybe if there's an opportunity to work here, why not? But she'll go out there, further her studies, build professionalism, and come back here so she can also start that. So that another 10 years, 15 years down the line, another student can study and say that someone has this, service here, so I don't even have to travel out. I can do it here. So if you decide that you're only coming to do a degree because your friends are doing a degree, so me too, I want to do a degree at all costs, then you are lost. If you're doing the degree because, you don't want to be left behind, that's understandable. But are you choosing a course that you eventually want to work in, a field that you want to work in? If not, it's not too late. You can start planning from now. Because I studied psychology. Ideally, when we're almost done with the course, they would ask you that, do you want to further? So that's when you decide. So when you get to level 400, that's when they ask you, what do you want to do? Is it clinical psychology? Is it child psychology? So that when you're going to do your master's, you know exactly what you want. So they introduce you briefly to those courses so that when you're ready, you can tell that, okay, I think I prefer child psychology, or I like clinical, or the other arms of psychology, so I'll go into that. But you need to have a plan. I had a plan, and my plan was to do TV. And my plan was not to stay at one level. So yes, I wanted to do TV, but I didn't want to be like just any other TV presenter. I wanted to set myself apart. So I needed to have a plan that, so from here to here, in 5 years, I want to be able to conquer this territory. The next 5 years, I want to move into a different terrain and see if I can conquer that as well. And that's where politics and current affairs also comes in. You may not be ready for it. You may not have the requisite skills. But just the fact that you have planned your life in such a manner, when that opportunity comes, even if you're afraid, still take it and look at how you can develop yourself. So you have to stay resilient in the sense that when I took up that opportunity, I had zero knowledge about current affairs. I didn't even watch the news. I was more interested in what's happening in the entertainment world. So this is me starting from ground zero again. And never be afraid to start from zero again. Because you get to a certain point and you think you've achieved it all. And so there's an opportunity to start something new and you realize that, okay, I thought I was a guru here, but there are gurus in another field. And if I want to become a guru in that field, I need to start from ground zero and rise gradually. So every time on the show, when I joined, it was Johnny Hughes that was there, I would write down some of the things that he would say so that I can go back and go and read on it. But I did that because I wanted to learn, and I had to admit to myself that you may have succeeded in the entertainment industry, but you don't know much about the current affairs industry. So what are you going to do? You must stay ready to learn. And as you're learning, you must be resilient. You don't have to give up because it's not easy on that journey. So as you're learning, you're realizing that sometimes you hit a hurdle where you ask a question and they're looking at you like, okay, this girl, she doesn't know what she's about. But do you give up at that point? You don't. You have to now keep, learning and telling yourself that today wasn't a good day, but tomorrow will be a better day. But what do I do to ensure that I make tomorrow even better for myself? I go back and learn. So if I make a mistake, I note it down and say, okay, so maybe there was this law I should have read about that I didn't know. I'll write it down, go back home, and I'll learn. So that when I come back the next day, I come from an informed angle. That's the only way you stay learning and you stay successful. So you need to always be ready to learn. You need to push yourself. I push myself even till this day. I can tell you for a fact that every time I have to do paper review, I've been up from 2 a.m. I probably even slept at 11 p.m. Then by 2 a.m., I'm up again. And I'm up till I finish the show. I have to continue my work in the office, and then maybe I'll go back home around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, then I can decide to rest. It may not be healthy, and I'm not saying lose sleep, but if you really know what it is that you want to achieve, sometimes you have to lose a few things. You have to make some sacrifices. And if it's your sleep that you have to sacrifice, go ahead and sacrifice it, because your older self will thank you later. But find a way to balance it. I'm not saying don't sleep at all, because Berla Mundi came and said I shouldn't sleep, so I'm not going to sleep for the next 10 days. Sleep-a-thon. So I'm not sleeping, no. But you need to work towards it. And that's how you build the resilience. So you have to make some sacrifices. You have to push yourself to know that this is what I really want to do. And if it means going to ground zero and, doing everything I can just become better at what I'm doing, I will do it. And I stay learning every day, because you cannot know everything. Do you know that? Even the professors, I'm sure every day they learn. Sarah, am I lying? It's true. And a doctor will tell you, sometimes you go and see a doctor and you're asking about, some conditions, and they tell you that, you know what, I have to go and do literature review on this so I can have a better understanding. So you think that they've spent 7 years, 8 years in the, in the medical school, so they should know everything. But even them, sometimes the kind of treatment to administer is in every field. You have to learn. Don't say that, after school, I was promoted to manager, so that's it. I've attained the peak in my career, so I'm not going to learn again. You have to continue to learn. And as you're learning, like I said, be humble enough to admit that I don't know everything. And learn from the people around you. You can start learning even in school. Because there might be some people who may be more knowledgeable in the course you're doing than you. Don't hate on that person. See how you can get closer to that person and say, oh, I realize, you have a better understanding about this. Can you help me out so that I can also learn a bit more about it? But there are times when someone is intelligent, it's like everybody's like, oh, it's no. Everything you think you know. But how about you get close to that person and learn? And it's something that I do as well. If I realize that someone is very good at something, and it's something I'm very interested in, I get close to the person. It may not be directly, but at least, and I'll tell you, because I have to monitor the news items from every angle. So 5 p.m., I'm listening to 3FM because Alfredo Kanse is there doing the news. 5:30, I'm moving to Joy, because there's a longer conversation, and I need to understand what is it that all the stakeholders have to say. I'm writing down notes, and I have so many books. I don't even know what I'm going to do. One day, I probably have to publish it. I have books where I've written notes of what has happened over time. Then 6 o'clock, I'm still on Joy because I'm listening to the news. 6:30, maybe I'll go to GH1 or I'll stay on Joy, depending, so that I can also hear from, the other sector and the, sector players to understand what they also have to say about a particular topic that's trending. 7 p.m., I'm at TV3 because I have to watch the news from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. so I can monitor and know what's going on. 8 o'clock, I'm going to City to go and watch. Then 9 p.m., I'm probably going back to Joy or I'm staying at City, depending on who is hosting and what topic. So if it's Bernard Avle, I'm there, point of view. I'm watching him. Or then I go to Joy to go and watch, their 9 p.m. bulletin because they are explaining things even better. 10 p.m., back to TV3 because Alfredo Kanse also has Ghana Tonight. I have to do that religiously so that I can sleep at 11. Then if I haven't gotten enough, then by 2 a.m., I'm back again. I have to wake up. And it's difficult, I won't lie to you. Whenever my alarm clock blows, I'm upset. So if you want to see the time when I'm the most angry is when my alarm clock just goes off. I curse everybody and anybody that I can come across. But I still have to wake up and study so that I can come on air and deliver. So you have to make those sacrifices and you have to learn. And I'm learning from these people because they've been in that sector, in the current affairs sector, longer than I have. So how do I become better? Or at least try to get close to the excellence that they display on TV by learning from them. So I pay attention to everything that they do, and then I know exactly what to talk about. So sometimes I come on TV and I'm giving facts and figures, and everybody's like, hey, you know your stuff. But I had to learn it, and I had to listen to other people. So it's something that you have to cultivate as you're moving along. Don't just assume that once I'm done with my degree, or once I've gotten into Heritage Christian College, that's it, I've achieved everything. No. Maybe you've achieved that dream of wanting to get a degree. So you started. Fantastic. And I'm proud of all of you for even making that decision to further your education. I know it's not easy, but it'll be worth it. But then you have to ask yourself, after degree, what's next? How do I want to become better? And I hope that for all of you, even after your degree, you don't just, plateau and say, oh, I'm done. Push yourself. You don't have to do your master's almost immediately or do, a course somewhere. But push yourself and say that, let me work for a couple of years, save some money if I can, so that I can now go back and go and better myself. It's very important because it's all towards achieving that dream. And maybe your dream will be achieved in 6 years. Someone's dream will take another 10 years. Allow time. Don't give yourself too much pressure. Because what I've noticed about a lot of us is social media is one of them. And then it's even your day-to-day interaction with everybody. Hey, this person has achieved everything in 5 years. While we were in school, this person had a car. I didn't have a car. Then once we're done with school, no, their parents buy, him or her a brand new car. So as we are doing national service, ask me, I'm doing like a Benz or I'm taking trotro. There's someone who's driving this nice car, and I'm looking at the person and say, oh my God, how I wish. It's okay to wish, but let it end there. Don't go and say how I wish, and then because of that, let me go and find somebody who can, help me buy the car, and I'll do anything and everything and sell my soul. It's not worth it. Take your time. Take your time and build. So that even if it takes you 10 years to get to that point, you look back and say, I'm proud of my younger self for going through the mill and achieving it. There's a lot more experience that you have when you go through the mill than you decide that, okay, I want to achieve presidency at all costs. So once I'm done with degree, I'm going to change my age and make sure that I become president in 2 years. You'll get there, but you won't have the wherewithal to withstand all the challenges that will come. Whereas if you took your time and you built yourself, you would have met the challenges along the way. So once you get there, Charlie, you've developed some thick skin. So when it comes and it hits you, you're like, Odeshi, it won't happen. I'm not falling. Isn't that what we say? All right, now what do we say? The devil will explain tire. You will try and try. I won't fall because I have developed myself and built that stamina over time. Now, as you're doing all this as well, how many of us pray religiously? Oh, don't worry. If you didn't pray this morning, it's fine. I understand. Did you pray this morning? Okay, if you didn't pray this morning, raise your hand. You didn't pray, it's fine. We are not here to judge anybody. So this whole room is only one person who didn't pray this morning. Oh. Oh, if you say thank you, Jesus, that's a prayer, so you've prayed. Or do you have to pray like 2 hours? Well, it's okay to admit if you didn't do it. Do you get it? But I'm just asking that because before you step out every day, you must commit your day into God's hand. And some of us take it as it's a joke, but it's not. As you're building your career, as you're going through life, and of course, for the Muslims who are here as well, it's the same God anyway. So prayer, we all pray anyway. We all have our different times that we pray. But don't ever leave things to chance and assume that I'm the most intelligent in the classroom, so that's enough. I don't need God. I don't need to believe in, God to make things happen for me. You will not succeed. And I can tell you that for a fact. You might be moving along gradually, but something will happen along the line and it will draw you back to why you didn't get close to God. And I've had my experience. I mean, I've grown up from a Christian family, but you know how we are. When we are young, you want to live your life. And when your mom says, let's go to church, you're like, oh, leave me alone. So every Sunday, my mom will fight with me because when she says, let's go to church, I'm like, leave me alone. Only you, everything God, go. But as I was, growing in my career and things started happening to me, that's when I realized that nobody will even tell you run back to God. You have to go back. And you have to cultivate that relationship with Him. It's a gradual process. But do not build your career on your own strength. And it's in the Bible, is it not? Yeah, it's not by our strength. It's not by our might. It's only by the favor of God or by the grace of God that some of us are even where we are today. And I always use myself as an example. There are people who speak better than me. There's probably someone in here. Give the person the same number of years that I have in my industry. And by now they'll be speaking to, foreign presidents all around the world. But what's the reason why I am here and I've built the brand Berla Mundi? I may be intelligent, I may be learning, but it's also the favor of God. And our parents pray for us all the time. But you yourself, what are you doing to get closer to God? If you think that is just about living your life and going about things, you will lose it. You need to get close to God, and you need to commit everything in His hand. And say that, Charlie, this one they have tried, God, I've tried. But I'm leaving the rest to you. You direct the path. Now, if you do that as well, it encourages you to not always do things according to what you want and how you think things should happen. But you allow God to also direct you. And that way, your success is beautiful. You can achieve it. But you need God to also direct you. And that's why His word says that His word is what? A lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path. So I'm not here to preach. Don't worry. That calling, I'm still running away from it. Should I become a pastor someday? Oh, I beg. It's okay. Easy. It was just a question you weren't supposed to answer. But you need some of these things to become better. And we take it for granted because we assume that everybody else believes in God. So don't worry, don't do anything to you. When you get your first attack, your second attack, that's when you realize that power day past power. And if you don't get close to God, they'll knock you out. Because like I said, someone wants the position you're in. Do you think that is everybody that applied to this college that got it? There are some people who didn't get it. So what makes it easier for you to be here and that person not to be there? And it's the same thing you apply to your life all around. Why is it that I got the job and that person didn't get the job? And that person may have even been 10 times more qualified than me. But I got the job. It's only by the grace of God. So don't take it for granted. And always remember to say thank you. Because if it wasn't for God, you won't be where you are today. And I can imagine how if we decide to go into personal stories of people, they'll say that, Charlie, even to get to this point in my life where I'm doing a degree or I'm taking this course, it's only God. Right? Because Bianca, by now you're probably in some village farming. Or there's no money to pay your school fees, and so you wouldn't have known what to do. But it's God's grace that has brought you here. So please don't take it for granted. And don't forget as things get better. We tend to forget a lot that, you know, when I was maybe 16, there was no money to buy food. So we used to eat gari maybe every day of our lives. And for some reason, things have become better. So now I'm able to buy all the, fast food. I can make my own food. And then all of a sudden, I forget that God is the one that took me from that level to here. Don't ever forget that. It's important to stay connected to Him because He's the one that will take you from one level to the other. And I fall short sometimes, so I'm not going to stand here and pretend I'm an angel. There are days when I struggle and I forget that, okay, I was supposed to have prayed today, I didn't. Or there are times when I want to do things with my own understanding. And I try, and I go and hit and realize, okay. And sometimes you hear the voice. It tells you that, yeah, you thought you could do it by yourself, but you always forget that I'm the one that helps you to get to every point. So leave it in my hands and let me show you what I can do. So I've touched on 3 things today, and I don't want to talk for long because I know we've been waiting for quite a while. First of all, you must have a plan. And that plan, if you have a book, write things down. So that later on you can go back and refer to it that, hey, I said I was going to do this in 2 years. It's taken maybe 4 years, but I've still been able to do it. And I'm so proud of myself. Have a book, have a diary where you write some of these things down and always refer to it. Now, the good thing is that when you go back to it and you haven't achieved it, you'll be like, hey, I said I was going to do this, in 2025. It's 2024, I have not even started. So it urges you to go back there. And stay resilient. As you're trying to achieve your dream and achieve success, you always have to remember that no matter the obstacle that comes your way, you can only stop for quite a while. But don't stay there. Don't become stagnant. Keep moving. Keep learning. Be humble enough to admit that you don't know. And so you'll get closer to the people who will help you. It's important. And then finally, stay close to God. Stay close to God. And I'll leave by saying that be wary of friends and human beings. It's a very important aspect of our lives that we need to acknowledge. Everybody is great. Everybody has something they also want to achieve. You also have to be careful. Don't open up too much. Don't open up too much. If you can, keep a lot of things to yourself or have just 1 or 2 people that you can really trust. Maybe a mentor or someone and go to that person. And that's what brings in the issue about mentorship. Because if you want to succeed, you also need someone who has walked that path before. It may not be the same path that you've walked. It can be from a different industry. But at least you have an older person go to and say, oh, I have this dream or I have this idea. How do you think I should go about it? But don't rely on the people around you all the time. And it's not their fault. Even you. Sometimes you get a little envious of your friend, don't you? So don't assume that you're an angel and everybody around you is a demon. But just like how sometimes your friend comes to you and she's telling you, oh my God, can you believe this good thing is happening? And you're smiling like, oh, congratulations. But this smile inside of you is like, it's the same way other people may feel that way as well. So learn to keep things to yourself. Learn to keep it private. Pray to God if you have to. Or go to your mentor and tell the mentor that this and this is what is happening in my life. How do I go about it? It's very important. And you might not understand some of these things now, but maybe later on in life, you'd remember that Berla did say something about being wary about some of the people around you. It's okay to be nice to everybody, to have friends, but let there be a limit. Draw that line. So that you know that otherwise, everywhere you go, everybody knows everything about you. Do you want that? Where all your secrets are out there and everybody has something to say about your life. You have to also develop or cultivate that air of mystery around you. So that it's not everything that they know about you. But go to that higher person who understands. And that's why you have your leaders here. Try and cultivate that relationship with them, where you can go for advice from them sometimes. Because they will keep it personal. They've walked that path, so they understand why it's important not to have your issues out there all the time. Okay? So that's where I'm going to end with at this point. I'm ready to take some questions. I know I don't have to speak for long, Conrad. My time is up, isn't it? Exactly. So I'll leave it here, and I hope that I've been able to help you all with one or two things. If there's any question, any contribution, I'm open for it.
All right, so Berla, thank you very much. We'll take two questions, only two questions, if there are any. If there are none, all right. Is there a hand?
Yes, at the back.
Okay. Let's.
Also, you are doing your work well. Yes. You are doing well.
Okay, thank you very much for the media roles, from hosting shows to captivating audiences as a presenter. What unexpected skills or experiences have you found to be the most valuable in navigating your successful media career?
This is a tough one. Wait, ask again. What?
I was saying that what unexpected skills or experiences have you found to be the most valuable in navigating your successful media career?
Okay, I'd say managing people. I'd say that because nobody's an island. And you know, usually you are very concerned about the brand you are building, so it's always about you. You have that tunnel vision. But you also have to manage the people around you. You need to learn the idiosyncrasies of people around you so you can manage them. And I've made a few mistakes because of that, which is why I've learned. So as I'm going on, I realized that I cannot do this job without the people around me. Whether it's my producer, my director, even the intern in the office. And sometimes how you interact with those people also goes a long way to affect who you eventually become. Because there are testimonials that are given along the way. There are people who can help you, but it will also depend on how you make them feel around you. And it's a skill I've had to learn. I've always been this very lovely person, but there are times when you fall short, where you probably underestimate the person around you, or you're not on such good terms with the person. But you have to realize that in building your career, you don't have to be everybody's friend, but you must respect everybody's role in your life. Whether it is even the cleaner or your boss, you must respect that without them, you cannot make it in life. So I come on TV and I'm dressed up and I'm saying all the things. But before I'm able to come on TV, there's a producer, there are cameramen, there's a sound engineer. And if all those people decide not to come to work, you cannot watch me on TV. There's a producer who is doing the research alongside what you're doing. Then there's a whole production team. Everybody is playing a role. So if I come to work and I decide that I'm going to disrespect everybody because I assume that I'm the star and everybody else doesn't matter, they'll eventually sabotage you, and that would affect your brand. And that's a skill that you have to learn along the way, that everybody around you matters. So when I see a cleaner, and maybe they're cleaning the floor when I'm going to the office or something, I don't just go and walk in the thing and assume that that's your job. So anyway, when I even dirty it, that's your job. So I don't respect it. I always say hello to them. I greet them. Oh, it's the same. Because mind you, if those people don't come to work to come and clean, imagine your office in a year without it being cleaned. Can you sit in it? You cannot always come and clean. You cannot always come and fix those microphones because that's not your job. So always learn to respect the people around you because they each play a role. And word of mouth is very important. So you might think that, oh, as for this person, there's nothing he can say that would affect me. But he passes a message on to one person who passes it on to another person. You don't know who they are connected to. Maybe your next big gig will come to you based on something that someone in your office said. How do you want that to come to you if you're not exactly respecting the people around you? So it's a skill I've learned, and I intend to keep learning on that as well. Yeah.
Thank you. Last question.
My name is Emmanuel. Your field, a lot of people want to pull a lot of people down. I mean, when your private or issue or something come across, they want to pull you down. So in that manner, what motivates you? What encourages you when you are down?
It's a very important question. And that's why I talked about being wary of people and also having people that you can trust in and talk to. So surrounding yourself with the right team is important. Surrounding yourself with people who care so much about you that even when things are getting difficult around you, they're the ones that keep you going. And that's where your motivation comes from. Because you can be passionate about your career, but sometimes when you hit that snag, right, things become so difficult. It's like you say, okay, I'm not doing this again. And I've had so many instances where I face difficulties and I say, I'm done. I'm not doing this again. I can tell you for a fact that there are many times just because, that one is because I don't like waking up too early in the morning. So when I wake up, the first thing I say is, I'm quitting this job next week. I'm done because I can't wake up. But sometimes there are challenges that hit you so much that, you know, if you don't have the people around you to help you, you'll give up easily. So surrounding yourself with those people is important, but you also have to develop a tough skin and understand that where you occupy, there are 1,001 people who wish they occupied that position. And it's normal. Some people may just dislike you because you are successful or you are doing better in that field. They wish it was them. So they'll say all kinds of things just to bring you down. What has God placed inside of you that keeps you going? And you always have to run back to that. What is that thing that keeps you going? Such that if I give up on this, I'm not only giving up on myself, I'm giving up on everybody else that looks up to me. Because you don't realize it that every time you go to work and do what you have to do, they may not say it openly, but there are probably some 5, 10 young people who are looking at you and saying, because you didn't give up, I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing so I can also be successful. Now imagine if you give up. You are giving up on a lot of other people who rely on you. Maybe not physical cash, but some inspiration that you give them or some hope that you give them. So you have to build that tough skin to tell yourself that as for challenges, they will come. You cannot run away from it. And I've had my fair share. But after that, what do I do? If it becomes a bit too unbearable, that's why I have the people around me to help me to move forward. But otherwise, for myself, I think of all the people who rely on me for hope and for inspiration, and I say, if I give up, then that means that I'm weak. I'm not strong enough to stay in this position. And I don't think that God puts me in this position for that. He did not give us a spirit of what? Of fear. So you have to stay in there and keep, striving and keep rising. Otherwise, then everybody will give up if they face some challenge, and you are not built for that. So you need to learn to build that tough skin over time, rely on people, and tell yourself, I'm not letting go. It might hit me down, and I might have to retreat and start from maybe 0.2, even when I was at 0.5. But you will not keep me there forever. I will still come back. And like Cheddar said, I'll come and buy the country. Oh, exactly.
All right, give it up for Berla Mundi. And so you should dream it and do what? Dream it. All right, Berla, before you sit down, there is a gift from the students of Heritage Christian University College to you. And so I'll call on those who are representing the student body, the SRC president, and also a pencil art. He's one of the matriculants, and he decided that he would present a very beautiful gift to you. Please hurry up and bring the gift. All right, so Eric Baku, the one who drew this beautiful picture of yours, is the one unwrapping it. So, wow, thank you. So, Eric Baku is a pencil artist. We popularly call him what? Chosen. Yeah, and that's our SRC president, Gilbert Tete, and a rep of the ushers. All right, thank you very much, Berla. Yes. Okay. All right. So on behalf of the university, we would like to say thank you very much for honoring our invitation. We know our roads are not good, so we hope that next time we would have world-class roads to Amasaman. Yes.